focus of his game these past few years, and it's paid big-time dividends for him. He's become a much better rebounder, and it's increased his value as a player by leaps and bounds.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. The tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And looking at the Nets, Durant plays the 4 with Allen at center. Spencer Dinwiddie out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's LeVert in at the 3. Now Simmons, after Spencer Dinwiddie missing on that last three-pointer.
An elite distributor for a big man. Horford is the kind of guy you want to play basketball with. And we come back to it again and again. If you're just looking at points and rebounds, you really miss.
Oh, what a play!
Woo! Really can't let Simmons get going off of these dunks. I mean, his confidence just rises when he slams it down like that.
Here's KD. And Embiid with the block. And here's the fast break. Richardson leading the way. And a wide open look for Simmons. Great positioning on the putback.
Oh, and a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip-in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there.
And great instincts, too, guys, anticipating where the miss was going.
Richardson outside. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Connects from three-point range.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Shots good by Durant.
Boy, LeVert showing you his unselfishness there. I mean, if you're open, he loves getting you the ball.
And then Simmons slams it in.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
And even after the Achilles tear for Durant in the 2019 finals, he got a huge contract after he opted out.
Most teams felt they were willing to pay him while he rehabbed for a year. That was the case as the Nets gave him a 4-year max money deal. His next chapter is underway as he changed his number to 7.
It's LeVert on the wing. And now Philadelphia on the break. Simmons is running.
Well, Simmons has what I call see-ahead vision. I mean, he sees a play ahead, and he's a great passer.
Irving looking over the floor. That one's rebounded by Embiid. From deep, Richardson gets the three-pointer to fall. Richardson's got a couple of threes now in the first for the 76ers. Irving with it, and it's Richardson picking him up. Irving's shot is good.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know if there's anybody better than Kyrie Irving close to the basket. He has a great feel for how to score inside.
Shot's good by Simmons.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
KD finds Dinwiddie. Pass to Irving from deep. Can't hit that one. And Philadelphia the other way now. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons. And here's Richardson outside. His first miss, now 3 of 4 from the field. Nets trail by 7. Allen for 3. Rebound by Joel Embiid. Embiid's got his 4th rebound in this one. Harris inside the line. And that one, no good to start him off on the night. Durant down low. Guarded by Embiid. KD's shot is off. Allen. That shot off. Simmons with the defensive effort. Here's Richardson. And Irving pulls it down. Brooklyn's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. LeVert in the corner. We've got 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. Here's Horford. Harris outside. Lets it go from deep. A rebound by the Nets.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Irving's shot is good.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
1 second left. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. 76ers lead by 7. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. One of the league's best point guards, Kyrie Irving, had this to say.
2011, I came into the league.
Some say, Greg, a golden age at the point guard position.
Yeah, and Irving right there with the best of them. He embraces the challenge.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
That mid-range shot has been a weapon for them up to this point, fellas.
They also haven't been afraid to take it strong to the hoop early on tonight. I like that.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Taking a look at the 76ers, they've got Robinson. Scott is out there with Joel Embiid. Then there's Alec Burks. And it's Thibault in at the shooting guard position.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
At the elbow, it's Robinson. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Mark, a lot of young players in this NBA becoming top 10 players as they mature. Who are some of the guys you spot that are really going to make a mark?
Well, they've already made a mark, and you anticipate it'll continue to be that way. Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell. I like Jaylen Brown in Boston, as well as Jason Tatum there. And clearly, Zion Williamson has a chance to be really special. We know how good a shooter he is. It's frustrating for him when he's not able to knock down that kind of wide-open look.
A nice shot by Jordan.
Set up on a platter that time by Harris. A room service dime right there.
And here's Burks. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Shoots the 3. Hits it from three-point range.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
To the paint and stolen by Scott. Embiid with it. He's picked up by Jordan. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the officials.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And the 6'6" point guard, Spencer Dinwiddie, second-round pick of the Detroit Pistons in 2014. You know, Greg, they might have wished they held on to him.
One of the most improved players in our league. Last season, signed that 4-year, $48 million extension from the Nets, rewarding his growth.
Irving's checked in for Dinwiddie. Philadelphia leading by 13. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Knocks down the 3 ball. Korkmaz has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the Nets. Out to Chandler. From deep three-point range, Harris's shot is off.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Irving passes to Prince. Now here's Jordan. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Jordan very efficient in the paint because of his length. Close to the bucket, he's hard to deal with.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Burks against Irving. Here's Milton. 14 points from him the last game against Detroit. Just 3 to shoot, and he comes up with the deuce. Milton's got 5 points in the quarter.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And the shot goes in. 6 points for Jordan.
You have to love the unselfishness on display there. Excellent passing.
Here's Milton, guarded by Harris. And the foul on Joe Harris. That's foul number 2 for him.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
The Nets making a switch here. Durant's checked in. And then for Philadelphia, Tobias Harris comes in for Scott, and it's Ben Simmons in for Burks. A shot by Milton, no good.
He has to make that one. I mean, you have to make the defense pay when they slough off of you like that.
It's good.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. And it's blocked by Jordan.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
Kicks it out to Prince. Irving from long range. Milton grabs the board. And now here comes Simmons leading the break. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Horford's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Well, I love watching Simmons run the floor. So effortless and efficient in his movement.
And so
it's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith. Ben Simmons putting in some incredible work. He had 12 points and 1 assist. He has bounced back nicely from... And that...
Here we go now.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. You look at Ben Simmons in this game, he's been everywhere.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of it.
On the perimeter, Harris and Prince. Jordan is out there with Durant, and it's Dinwiddie in at the point. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. Richardson dishes to Horford, and Harris wide open. He shoots. No good on the triple. Nets trail by 16. Well, we knew that Tobias Harris would be one of the big names during free agency this past summer.
Wasn't a lot of speculation for him when free agency hit. Ends up staying with the Sixers, and I think it makes sense for both sides, and he fits nicely next to Embiid.
Here's Dinwiddie. Misses the 3.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
And, you know, he's a guy who knows how to defend the three-point shot. He's not going to just give it to you. He's going to make you earn it.
Prince outside. Nets passing it around. Harris passes to KD. Good D by Embiid.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Starting slow in this half, 0 for 3 so far.
The drive by KD. Jordan dishes to Prince. And stolen by Simmons. And here's Harris from the arc. Hits the three-point bomb. Harris has got himself on the board with 3 there.
There it is, the first basket of the half after missing their first 3 attempts.
Harris finds Durant. Back to Harris over Richardson. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts. And when he gets ahead of steam, you almost feel sorry for defenders. Ben Simmons, a combination of size, speed, and ball handling that can, at times, be unstoppable.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Jared Allen comes in for Taurean Prince. And Karis LeVert subbed in for Joe Harris.
Hey, the unselfishness there by Dinwiddie, you love it. He's all about doing what's best for the team.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Harris has got 5 points so far. And with his passing and driving ability, Greg, Simmons is like combining a power running back in football with a pinpoint passing quarterback. Not much he can't do.
Kevin, a football metaphor is appropriate. Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football, and the physicality and quick thinking of that sport really reflected in his style of play.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And this spot has always been Jordan's biggest drawback. He's never been able to make his free throws at even a modest rate, and teams are never afraid to put him on the line.
Kyrie Irving's checked in for Brooklyn.
Outstanding distribution there. I mean, what impressive passing ability.
Jordan finds Durant. Inside, Irving. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. 8 points for him.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is, that's a tough shot.
Count the basket. 13 points for KD.
Well, you certainly can't fault him as the reason they're behind. He's been on target and on top of his game.
Kicks to Simmons. The pass to Thibault. The 3. Allen with the rebound. And so Allen will bring it up for Brooklyn. Trailing by 17.
A big X factor for the Sixers, I think, will be the development of Ben Simmons' jump shot. He's got to become at least a threat as a perimeter shooter if they're going to have a chance to win it all.
And especially in the playoffs where teams really scheme for it. Simmons shooting can be a real problem for the Sixers.
That's a major liability, guys. There's no denying it. For all of his wonderful ability and versatility, the fact that it's basically 4 on 5 when they're on offense with him on the floor is a problem in the playoffs. And you said it. When teams can lock into you, they're going to make you do what you're uncomfortable doing.
Here's Burks. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
And guys, I think it's exactly the right thing to do with the lead. Keep going at defenders and find a way to get yourself to the line.
And it's Durant missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Way ahead of the field. He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
You know, and not leaving anything to chance either. That's why he takes it right to the bucket.
Here's Irving. Gets a hand on it, and KD is right there. Durant's got 6 points in the quarter.
Man, he gets it done in bunches, does Durant. He's a superb scorer. You've just got to marvel at his greatness.
Here's Harris. And Embiid, the bucket on the assist from Harris. And the 76ers lead by 18. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Allen, that's good.
Well, I like seeing Allen get this kind of position because you give him the rock there, and he can take care of the rest.
And slam dunk by Harris.
And a
sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Dinwiddie with it. Looking at the numbers, he's averaging about 20.5 points a game. Pushing it up. Here's Thibault. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard. Put the pass right on the money.
Terrific versatility coming from a big man. Not something that the majority of big guys possess.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And so in the game for the 76ers, down low it's Harris and Horford. Then it's Josh Richardson, and it's Milton in at the 2. Here's Korkmaz. That one's not going to go. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Irving attacking. Passes it to Durant. Irving kicks to LeVert. The dish to Allen. Over Horford. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And a one-year player at Texas. Jared Allen came into the league as a bit of a project. He's got ample playing time to develop in Brooklyn.
Ben Simmons, he's checked in for Shake Milton.
Boy, you know, you look at the raw athleticism of Allen, very enticing. I mean, he's a quick-footed, shot-blocking big guy. He's got a great future in this league, in my opinion.
Irving attacking. Misses from close range. And Greg, safe to say, Allen's defense is ahead of his offense.
Yeah, but his mobility and leaping ability serve him well as a finisher, providing that vertical spacing teams like to have inside.
Irving. Bank shot, no good.
And smothered him on that mid-range attempt.
As a defender, he's going to just be a bothersome, worrisome guy, making you miserable all night. A hand in your face on every jump.
Pass to KD. And finished off by KD.
And Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
And the 76ers making a change here. Embiid's checked in. Simmons finds Richardson. To the middle. Stolen by Allen. Here's LeVert. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Harris has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Kicks it out to Richardson. The 76ers with another miss. Nets trail by 15. For 3, Harris. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. Embiid's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And there's the call on Durant. That's his first foul. Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for Brooklyn.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Allen against Embiid. And he banks in the layup. And the 76ers lead by 17. Clark, you and I are sitting here watching this game, broadcasting the game. There are a lot of times that the fans can't see how emotionally charged up you are over some of the things you see on the floor, good and bad.
Hey, I love great basketball. Excellent passing, tremendous hustle, creativity on your moves. One of the things that really excites me, though, is to see the ball pop and end up in a three-point shooter's hands, and he's able to knock one down because the crowd is able to follow that ball, and the anticipation just kind of rises as it gets to the designated shooter. I love guys going after rebounds on the offensive glass.
That's a great example about the three-point shot, though, Clark. I love that. That's terrific.
And Durant just great at picking apart the defense. When they leave one of his guys open, he is quick to get the ball to him.
Clark, there are a lot of factors a free agent puts into selecting the new team that he goes to. Talk about the factors that aren't basketball for these free agents.
Well, I think you could see some of them if you gave it some thought, Kevin. You think about a market size, nightlife for some guys is important. Business opportunities when you think about places like Silicon Valley or New York or Los Angeles. Season of life for the individual player in terms of his family and where he might want to reside after he's done playing.
And so the coach's challenge here comes into play. The coach protesting the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. They're trailing by 17. We've got 1:23 left in the fourth quarter. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Joel Embiid.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he has.
They'd lost 2 straight coming into this one, and he knew he needed to put his foot down. He showed leadership tonight, getting them back on the winning track. Thibault, the pass to Embiid. 76ers moving the ball around. Tries it from 9. Up again. It's good on the putback. And the 76ers lead by 19.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the 76ers.
They had a fantastic play from the bench.
And this team has great depth, and they showed it in this game.
And this will push their record to 39 wins in a good effort tonight. And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Joel Embiid.
He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Back to O'Quinn. In transition, here come the Nets. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the basket by Karuch.
You make your teammates better by giving them good passes. That one was perfect.
Embiid, the pass to O'Quinn. In transition, here come the Nets. Here's Karuch. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And you know you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exits.
So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. This one, all right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg.
puck pickup, upper and lower body fluid, and goaltending.
Love it. Sometimes we release so much content during the My Team year that some cards may get overlooked. I just have a few cards that I personally use and love and have had trouble just even auctioning. One of them is the Pink Diamond Walt Frazier that has come out in the Prime VIP from a lot of sets ago. I have no idea why this
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA Payday. Well, great story, DA. Thank you. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Allen.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Young and Herter make up the backcourt, and it's Capella in at the center. And for the Nets, Durant plays the 4 with Allen at center. Kyrie Irving is out there with Spencer Dinwiddie, and it's LeVert in at the small 4. And so it's the Nets getting on the board first. Back to Capella, kicks it to Hunter. Hawks passing it around. Here's Herter. A putback, great positioning on the putback.
And one thing about Hunter, it never gives up. You can see the focus and energy that he plays with on every possession.
Now here's Allen. Pass to Irving. Notice the playoff seedings still jumbled a bit in the air. Just how important you think it is to get home court advantage in the NBA playoffs in this era.
Historically speaking, Kevin, as you know, home court advantage is absolutely monumental, and it doesn't matter the round of the playoffs. Could be a conference semifinal or an NBA final. If you come down to a Game 7, that home court advantage can be the difference between winning and losing. You want as much in your favor, Kevin, as you know, going into the postseason.
5 to shoot. Here's Young. Good on the baseline, Jay.
You can't do anything about that. Even when Young is under pressure, he just finds a way to score.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Yeah, 2 turnovers already in just the first few minutes. Clearly a bit careless. They need him to refocus.
Hey, I'll get yours.
At the top of the key, Capella. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's his second foul already, and that's going to force him to tone down his aggression defensively.
Garrett Temple has checked in for Kyrie Irving. And Joe Allen will bring it up for the Nets. Here's Temple. Makes it off the glass.
Okay, Jared Allen, we see you making that look for a big man. That's a pretty pass.
Capella kicks to Young. To the wing right side. Fires the 3. Atlanta again missing.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Here's Durant. LeVert the pass to KD. Back to LeVert. Offensive rebound. The pass to Temple. Now Dinwiddie. The second chance effort, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Clint Capella.
You know, the size that Spencer Dinwiddie brings to the point guard position is a problem for defenders. So good at drawing contact. What we know unequivocally is Spencer Dinwiddie is far more than a terrific basketball player. Let's remember, he scored 1,400 on his SATs. His mom was a professor at USC, and there's something very special about being raised in an academic environment. He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there. Boy, he's at the cup, but that is tremendous defense. Prohibit the lay-in without fouling.
Passes to Hunter. Back to Capella. Here's Herter. That's tipped. Outside Collins. In transition, here come the Nets. A pull-up, and Durant gets it to go. The assist by Allen.
That's how you share the rock. He does this time and time again.
And Doris, you talk about Dinwiddie's book smarts. His parents wanted him to attend Harvard.
Yeah, he chose instead, Kevin, to attend the University of Colorado, believing the Pac-12 would be a better stepping stone to the NBA. And think about it, even now, this guy not shy about challenging authority. He will keep his coaches on their toes.
Here's Hunter. After the basket by Brooklyn. Here's Herter. Again, the Hawks good for 2.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses, understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
And Durant gets double teamed. And slam dunk by Allen. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Hunter, no one around him. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Hunter's got 5.
Well, a point guard must understand window of opportunity, and Jeff Teague specializes in exactly that.
Tips it, and Teague is right there.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
Yeah, and those second chance points can add up. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Herter passes to Teague. Here's Hunter. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Here's Temple. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. To the inside. Allen dishes to KD. Stolen by Collins. Here's Herter. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Out left to the wing. Here's Dinwiddie. Sinks that one from the post.
Listen, this guy is far from just a scorer. Kevin Durant loves to share the basketball.
Teague for 3. Wow! Unbelievable!
Can't do it much better than that right before the clock expires.
What a way to seize moment.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. It's Atlanta. They finish off the first quarter with a massive 16-6 run. And we'll be back right after this. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And for the Hawks, guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Offensively, they took care of the ball. And defensively, they forced a number of miscues.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court right now for the Hawks, we've got Dwayne Dedmon. Reddish out there with Bembry. Then there's Carter. And it's Fernando in at the 4 slot. Atlanta leading by 8.
Boy, you talk about the all-time great below-the-rim finishers. Kyrie Irving is on that list. He can use either hand. So much English. This guy is tough.
Chandler kicks to Irving. Pass to Prince. 11 feet away. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Prince has got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for Brooklyn. And so it's Carter who brings the ball up for the Atlanta Hawks. Doris, as great a scorer as he is, Kyrie Irving doesn't draw a ton of fouls.
Kevin, I think that has everything to do with his elusivity. This is a young man who can finish with either hand, can get separation on any defender. This is the one thing you'd say about Kyrie Irving. He does not initiate contact around the rim.
Carter inside the three-point line, and again, it's Atlanta. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Now Irving, averaging around 27.5 points a game, one of the best in the league.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
The shot by Carter, nobody around. From outside, off the mark. Nets trail by 8. Irving with it. Jordan kicks to Irving. Trying to find Chandler. He's got it now. Count that one. Chandler's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, Kyrie Irving, if you're open, he will find you. This guy is a scorer, but he understands others have got to come along with him.
Fernando can't get it to go.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
And Vince Carter picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for the Nets. Young's checked in for the Hawks. Dinwiddie passes to Prince. It's stolen by Carter. And here's Reddish. He's coming off a 22-point game against New York. There's Bembry. Chandler with the block. Young against Dinwiddie. Jordan at the elbow. And it's good, 2 points. Jordan's got his first basket. Doris, you've said this often. It is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different areas, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential time. And there are certain names that are always going to pop to the top of the list, LeBron James. But it's very difficult to me, say, to compare a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest to ever man the center position, had the impossible-to-check sky hook. But how do you compare him with LeBron James, who, though he is, and I don't know what position he is, he may be the greatest passer in the history of the league. Like, let's enjoy individual greatness without comparison.
Pass to Collins. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Young with the ball. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
Maybe not the most explosive athlete, but Young's jumper stretches defense, which gives him more room to get by his man.
Dinwiddie dishes to Harris. Back to Dinwiddie. Oh, good on the 3. The Hawks leading by 8. Now, here's Hunter. He's got 8. Young. Rejected by Harris. The drive by Jordan. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Jordan's got 4 points now in the quarter.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Young from outside. Again, Young missing.
I'll tell you, he's trying to help them extend this lead, but it's been a tough night for him individually.
Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. So for the Nets, Allen's checked in for Jordan. Kevin Durant comes in for Wilson Chandler. And Karis LeVert subbed in for Taurean Prince. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Trae Young. A nice shot by Teague.
Well, this to me is one of the best aspects of Teague's game. He is an exceptional catch-and-shoot guy.
Dinwiddie passes to Allen. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Allen's got his second bucket.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Reddish the pass to Capella. It'll count. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And we've reached halftime in this one. Hawks ahead, ups. Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Atlanta came ready to play. Their lead at one point was up to 7, and they had some real nice momentum going. And
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. It's been a clinic out there by DeAndre Hunter.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
Durant plays the 4 with Allen at center. Kyrie Irving is out there with Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's LeVert in at the 3 slot. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. Irving double team. Back to LeVert. 5 on the clock. Tries again. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And checking out the numbers for Young. An amazing run for him the second half of the season. 2nd in assists, 7th in scoring, and tremendous confidence and consistency at the foul line. He ranks among the top 15 in free throw percentage.
And going back to him being 2nd in assists, it's his ability to control the pace of the game, his peripheral vision. That makes him such a great floor leader. Nets trail by 6. Down low is Dinwiddie. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to be on Trae Young.
Well, to me, it's the size, the strength, and the IQ of Spencer Dinwiddie that's so impressive. This guy is unique at the point guard position.
You know, Doris, at times, he's been the Nets' best player. Spencer Dinwiddie rewarded last season with a 3-year, $34 million extension.
Well, I think he's earned it, Kevin, right? Because he has started for them, he has come off the bench, and to this young man's great credit, he has accepted and excelled in either role. And I'll tell you, it's unusual for a point guard at 6'6". He has done nothing but enhance his versatility.
And a deep 3 from Irving. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Irving's got 7.
Just tremendous range from Kyrie. If he steps across the half-court line, you better have a hand up.
Doris, who are some of your favorite players to interact with, interview, and question as you go through the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys. I think, you know, certain people really give a lot of thought to their answers. So a Kyrie Irving, he wants to explain what he's thinking. He's willing to share and take a moment and consider the question. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, all of these guys, when I ask a question, Kev, they'll pause for a moment, consider the question, and then respond. And for somebody who's got to interview, there's nothing greater than having those guys willing to take some time with me.
Doris, you always get great answers from them, too. So there's a great rapport there, I can see. It's picked off. Carter on the wing. LeVert defending. And the pass to Herter. Drops in the layup for 2. And the Hawks lead by 3.
Their first basket in 4 tries. Let's see if that basket gets them going. It can be contagious now.
Irving looking over the floor. No good on that one. So the Hawks will take it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And the foul called on Jared Allen. That's his first foul. Taurean Prince, he's checked in for Spencer Dinwiddie. Back to Carter. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. To the paint. Fernando, the pass to Herter. Money from the wing. He has 6. And so it's Irving with it, bringing it up for the Nets. It's a 5-point game. Prince finds KD. Allen left side. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. He'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Shot's good.
Do you not love that by any means necessary attitude from Jared Allen, able to finish through the contact?
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. DeAndre Jordan comes in for Kevin Durant. And Joe Harris is subbed in for LeVert. Atlanta also making some changes here. Reddish, he's checked in for Kevin Herter. And it's Teague in for Benford. Passes it to Reddish. Carter outside. Now here's Dedmon. He kicks it to Reddish. Dedmon passes to Reddish. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And to this point on the season, guys, 80% from the line. He's done a really good job.
Well, think about the Nets' Kenny Atkinson, a finalist last season for NBA Coach of the Year. This young coach got a well-deserved contract extension. And what I love is his team competes at a high level every night.
Here's Jordan. Count that bucket. Jordan's got his 3rd basket of the night.
You can see why DeAndre Jordan, for his career, over 65% field goal shooting. So close, so easy.
That's tipped. Irving up top. Teague covering. Prince, the pass to Harris. Back to Prince. Irving against Teague. For the tie. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
And there's the foul. And it's on Taurean Prince. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. That one is off.
Well, Carter, just a freak of nature. One of the best dunkers the game has ever seen. A top-tier shooting guard who just embraces the spotlight.
Yeah, he gets them the lead at the free throw line despite the 1 miss.
Here's Irving. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
In the corner, it's Hunter. Reddish dishes to Capella. From downtown, and Carter with the basket on the assist by Teague. Teague's got 3 assists tonight. As we approach the 4th quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
Allen kicks to Prince. Right side, Jordan. It's stolen by Capella. Here's Reddish. And Reddish with the slam.
That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
It's still close, though. These teams have been neck and neck. Let's see the response here.
And a great show through. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this 4th quarter promises to be a good one. Nets trail by 4. 4th quarter on the court for the Hawks. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Reddish out there with Trae Young. And it's Capella in at the 5 spot. Here's Irving. That one, no good. Good defensive work there by Young. And there's the call. It's on Spencer Dinwiddie. That's foul number 2 for him. The Nets making a switch here. Durant's checked in.
Kevin Durant.
Outside Collins. Irving with the steal. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. KD leading the charge. And he gets it to go. KD's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Nets. And finished off by Collins.
There's a certain resiliency to this team, and you're starting to see it.
No doubt, Greg. Keeping it very close. They're going to have to step up even more to get over the hump here.
Dinwiddie right side. Reddish grabs the rebound.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
Here's Hunter. Banked in off the glass. And the Hawks lead by 6.
With a number of moves and shots to choose from, Hunter is scary. Nice bucket there.
Here's Irving, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Young with the ball. He's picked up by Irving.
This is not the guy you want in your zip code when the ball is going up. DeAndre Jordan twice on the pipes.
On its way from Irving for 2. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession. LeVert's checked in for Brooklyn. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Herter's checked in. Durant against Collins. And then Durant with the jam.
Kevin Durant makes that dunk look easy. He's so big, you can't do anything about it.
It's Collins with the drive.
They're doing.
And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double checking, and the game continues on.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Kenny Atkinson had some words for his team during the break. He told them this game wasn't over yet. He said, don't give up. If we make a few big plays, we're right back in this game. Stay the course. Back to you, Kevin.
Allen against Capella. Allen drives in, and Trae Young gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Here's KD. Allen trying to break free. A shot off that time. Now, here's Hunter. He's tightly guarded. And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way. Here's Irving. Pulls up on the wing. And the Nets miss again.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Well, not at the offensive end, certainly. He cannot buy a bucket right now.
Young inside. Levert defending. On deep, Collins. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Outside, KD. Allen passes to KD. And the layup's good off the glass. KD's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, we know Kevin Durant is one of the elite players in the NBA. And if there's a big shot to be made, he wants to take it.
Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
Boy, how big might this sort of mistake play out? You never know, but sometimes these are game changers.
Young outside. From deep. From beyond the arc and then some. And the Hawks lead by 6.
And easy to admire Young's confidence. Knows he has the ability to drain it from way outside.
Irving can't hit.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have the confidence. You have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
And for most guys, I think you only want to take that shot if you hit a few in a row. That is absolutely a heat check.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
An athletic forward with a versatile skill set. Hunter has also proven he can come up big in big moments.
Irving with a clean look. And again, it's the Nets missing.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 9. And so Collins nails both of them. And KD's got the ball here for the Brooklyn Nets. Will it go? Collins grabs the miss.
And he needs to find other ways to contribute besides shooting. Sometimes you have to learn how to play well when you're not playing well.
Hawks passing it around. Here's Herter. A three-pointer off the mark.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
And that one's good. Durant.
A natural-born scorer is Kevin Durant. He puts in the time, and it pays dividends on the floor.
Pass to Young. Shot on the wing. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A solid win on the road for them. This built.
body fluid. And goaltender.
What's up? This is the 2KMC, and I'm inviting you to join me for some top plays. This week, we are voting for the top play of the summer and the winner of 500,000 VC. You narrowed it down to the top 2, but now it's time.
And don't let the high fashion fool you. We are new. I love his honesty. All right, thank you, D.A. And now the opening lineup for Boston. Hayward at small forward with Tatum at the 4. Walker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. And it's Tice in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Brooklyn, Durant plays the 4 with Allen at center. Irving is out there with Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's LeVert in at the 3, the small forward. Now, here is Irving. Count the basket. Chris, you look at the grind of a regular season. Adam Silver seems open to fewer games or even fewer minutes per game. What do you think of that?
This is one that I'm not with, Kevin. You know, in my day, you had guys play 82 games. And let's go back to the days of Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. They were playing in shoes that basically were socks, and they didn't have tape, and they didn't have all the things that we're privy to in the medical industry. So I think we should keep it at 82 games and minutes the same, because it keeps a full context of sports where you can talk about Harden versus or Westbrook versus a Big O. It keeps the argument in the same place. I think fewer games, fewer minutes starts to change the dynamics and the expectations of what players can do. I don't mind changing it, adding tournaments, letting guys get more rest, but I think the number of games and the minutes of the game has to stay 48 minutes, has to stay 82 games in my opinion.
Very interesting. Austin with the ball. following the bucket by the Nets. Tice passes to Brown. Looking for LeVert. He gets it there. Irving drives in. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Now LeVert. He's coming off a 22-point game against Golden State.
Yeah, and his energy level in that game.
And yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Tatum on the wing. And it's sent back by Allen. Here's Irving. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet.
Almost impossible to stop on the drive at times. I mean, Irving's penetrating ability is just remarkable.
And with all their rangy wing defenders, the Celtics are well suited for the modern game.
Oh, yeah, they make it tough for opponents to get clean looks on the perimeter, GA, with their defense. I mean, it's a strong defensive team also because of the competitors that they possess.
Allen trying to break free. Irving can't get it to go. Celtics have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Brown. Boston again missing.
Not how you want to start the game. 4 straight misses. I'd like to see some better ball movement from them.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
And Walker kicks to Brown. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Walker dishes to Brown. Tice with the ball. And Allen picks him up defensively. Tice, no good. Nets leading by 10. In the corner, it's Dinwiddie. Here's Durant. And finished off by KD.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive, and they've taken early control of this game.
Shot's good by Walker.
Don't you love the passion Walker plays with? An incredible athlete who somehow muscles in tough shots.
Here's Irving. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Hayward passes to Brown. Here's Walker. Allen with the rebound.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
You're exactly right. I mean, that's the kind of shot you're trying to work for at the offensive end.
Durant, it's deflected, so it looks like the Nets will retain possession here.
All right, a chance to look at stats for Spencer Dinwiddie. Really been a key contributor over the past month. Putting up about 18 points per, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. He's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play all around.
Yeah, GA, I like it because he's not overcomplicating things. I mean, he's just playing to his strengths and taking what the defense gives him.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Jared Allen. Chandler comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Prince in for LeVert. Smart kicks to Williams. Here's Wanamaker. And he's good on the 3-ball. Wanamaker's got it back down to single digits for Boston.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Dinwiddie attacking. Jordan the pass to Prince. Jordan against Cancer. Williams with the block. Here's Tatum. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way. and get a great look.
Here's Dinwiddie. Can't cash in from the high post. That will count. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarters. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Gordon Hayward reunited with his college coach, Brad Stevens. He said they go way back.
Our relationship started when I was in high school.
And I'm sure, Greg, that relationship played a big role in Hayward deciding to join the Boston Celtics.
And not just a connection, but a respect. Hayward now a veteran in this league, while Stevens has moved into the conversation for one of the better young coaches in our league.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
On the perimeter, Harris and Prince. Wilson Chandler out there with Jordan. And it's Dinwiddie in at point. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Moves on moves. That's Jason Tatum.
I mean, this guy's a natural isolation scorer. Jab steps, crossovers, turnarounds, fadeaways. He's got an awful lot in his bag.
Williams passes to Wanamaker. Outside, Smart. 6 to shoot. From past the arc. Rebound, Brooklyn. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors. Prince kicks to Dinwiddie. Pass to Jordan. Rebound by Williams.
Oh, he did everything right there except hit the shot.
Outside, Smart. The Celtics working the ball around now. Here's Wanamaker. Lays it up and banks it in. Wanamaker's got 5 points so far.
Oh, that's not the kind of interior defense you want. Way too slow to protect the rim.
It's Prince on the wing. That one falls, coming off Dinwiddie's feet.
The D just sagged off just enough, and no hesitation on his part.
Wanamaker the pass to Canner, and Canner throws it down.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Yeah, Kevin, you're right. They needed that, and I love that he just didn't settle for the lay.
To the middle. Tatum on the wing. He's guarded by Chandler. Smart kicks to Cantor. Cans the 12-footer. Cantor's got 4 points now in the quarter.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
And with the signing of Durant and Irving along with DeAndre Jordan, Greg, are the Brooklyn Nets now claiming the mantle for the top team in New York?
Listen, they were already the better team a season ago. After stealing the Knicks' thunder in free agency, acquiring the superstar talent, they're poised to steal the Knicks' cultural relevance as well.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Allen's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Kevin Durant comes in for Wilson Chandler. Karis LeVert's checked in for Harris. And Irving subbed in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And here's Walker outside. Kept alive. And Williams is right there.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
It's Durant on the wing. Down low. Kicks it out to Prince. Allen surveying the D. Back to Prince. Now the pass to LeVert. Irving with it. That one is good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Love how Irving mixes it up. Outside, inside. He's effective at playing to his strengths.
Hayward outside. Fires it up. That one a little long. That's leading by 8. Pass to KD. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Oh, man, that's the type of play that gets a player and his teammates fired up. Durant gets the contact and still finds a way to hit the shot.
Well, Kevin Durant was highly sought after following this past season, and Chris, you knew his decision would have a huge ripple effect across the NBA.
Yeah, and at this point in his career, Kev, I mean, KD can do whatever he wants as far as which team he plays for. I mean, he has the titles, he has the money, and he has nothing left to prove. I mean, you can see why he chose this team.
Baseline jumper. Rebound, Gordon Hayward. Celtics trail by 9. Tipped away. And there's the call on Durant. That is his first foul of the game. Walker the pass to Tice. Back to Walker. Passes to Hayward. To the inside. The kick out to Williams. Just 5 to shoot. Boston needs to get off a shot, and they'll turn over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Brooklyn leading by 9.
And no need to rush this. Let the clock run down.
Yeah, no need to give the ball back here. You want to close this quarter with momentum.
And it's good for 2.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
On the wing, Williams. Back to Walker. Inside. And Williams slams it in.
But you can't leave guys open around Walker, I'll tell you that. He sees when the defense is overcommitted.
With 1 on the clock. And it's in. Oh, wow. He nails the bust. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to it's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They lead by 11. And over to Shaq. What did And that's
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
Second half underway. Here's who Brad Stevens got on the floor. Brown and Hayward, they're the wings. Daniel Tice out there with Tatum, and it's Walker in at the 1 spot. Walker against Irving. Kicks it to Durant. LeVert in the corner. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Clock is at 3. On its way from Irving for 2. And that one hits back iron.
And some teams have fancy dinners, guest speakers, and field trips. I mean, the Celtics culture is more straightforward. It's all about the work.
And cutting into the lead with the big one-hand throwdown.
That's how you get your team back into it. To the paint. Allen kicks to LeVert. Good, nice job down low. LeVert's got his second bucket of the night. And that work ethic, the core of the Celtics' values, are written on a big placard on their locker room wall.
Yeah, it emphasizes unselfishness, execution, toughness, and hustle. Those are the values of their team.
Back to Hayward. Walker in the corner. Down low. Tice. Good on the shot.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Nets leading by 7. Here's KD. Count it. Durant's got 9.
And almost 7 feet tall. I mean, Durant is a fantastic interior scorer. He uses his height well.
Walker finds Tice. And here is Brown, defended by Allen. And it's Walker penetrating. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Jared Allen.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there. Well, you have to give credit to Kemba Walker, who has always found ways to improve his game year after year. Has worked on that shot and tool set enough where he can now be a handful to defend for any guard.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Jordan, he's checked in for Jared Allen. Chandler comes in for Karis LeVert. And Joe Harris is subbed in for Kyrie Irving. Chandler, the pass to Harris. Goes up the baseline, and there's Chandler. That's good on the assist by Harris. And the Nets lead by 7. And with Walker, as he has progressed as a player, Greg, so has his leadership.
And Kemba has been a natural leader for so long during this time. When your leader puts in the work that Kemba does, it has to inspire the rest of that roster.
Chris, you were a tremendous passer. One of my favorites. Are there more playmaking bigs in the NBA now than back in the day?
That's a good question. I don't know if there are more, but I tell you what, there are some exciting ones. And if you guys don't believe me, just turn on the TV and go watch the Nuggets play. There's a man called the Joker, Jokic. Oh, my goodness, can he pass that ball? He and Horford right now, oh, man, two of my favorite passes.
And the foul on Joe Harris. That's his first foul. The Nets making a switch here. Irving's checked in. On the wing, Williams. Pass to Canner. Here's Wanamaker. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Here's Durant. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
Oh, I do too, Greg. You have to go to your best scorers. I mean, it's a smart strategy, and so far, it's paying off in this game.
1:30 left in the third quarter of the game. Irving drives in. Kicks it out to Prince. Harris passes to Jordan. Irving from long range. Doesn't go for it. So the Celtics will take it the other way. Smart dishes to Brown. Smart trying to break free.
You gotta love how Brown finishes strong, driving fast and hard to the cup for the rim rocking Shazam.
Shots good by Durant. Durant's got 6 in the quarter.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Yeah. Horrible effort. It appears they may be on the brink of giving up.
And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Brown. He's averaging 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Fantastic totals for him across the board. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps rolling.
I think if you talk to anyone on this team, they believe in his abilities 100%.
Here's Wanamaker. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Wanamaker's got 7 points.
He's the one trying to keep them in this game. A tremendous individual effort.
That's a good break. It's tough to connect on those long-distance passes.
And so it's Brooklyn with it. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Jordan kicks to KD. Prince outside. Outside for Durant. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Smart.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
Appreciate the effort, though, making his presence felt defensively.
And the Celtics making a change here. Tatum's checked in. Pocket 2. Irving passes to Jordan. It's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And so it's Williams who brings it up for Boston. 8-point game. Here's Wanamaker. Bucket is good. Wanamaker's got 4 points in the quarter.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
And it's Durant missing. The shot comes out, and so it's Brooklyn with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
Oh, beautiful feed. Always a luxury to have a big man who can see the whole floor.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Joe Harris is out there with Kyrie Irving. Then it's Jordan, and there's Jared Allen. And it's LeVert in at the small forward. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Right side, Williams.
And he's just so mobile for his size. That's a big part of the value Jordan has at the defensive end. When he's on you, he's too hard to shake, and he had an impact on that shot for sure. And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Hayward on the wing. This one for three. Rebounded by the Nets. Irving with the ball. That shot is good. He has made 8 while missing only 4. That's 67% shooting.
And right now, Irving is percolating. He's so good at creating and remaining assertive on offense. Top of the percolator.
Hayward finds Tatum. Smart up top, guarded by Harris. Here's Williams. Boston again missing.
Jesus surprises anyone with that miss. When he's left alone like that, you can usually count him.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Irving isn't afraid of getting physical inside, showing big-time strength to pick up the foul.
First free throw is good. We're talking about number one options at the offensive end. There's a mentality, right, that you got to have as the team's go-to scorer, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Let's look at Harden. Right, he can go 0 for 7, and then he expects to go 27 to 27. How about Curry? Have you ever seen Thompson when they said, oh my God, Klay Thompson is off. Last game, he only had 11 points. Well, when that happens, you can bet your last dollar at the next game, he's going to make every shot. And so what it is, again, a short memory. Whether you make a lot, so what? I'm going to do that again tonight. And if you missed a lot the previous night, so what? That wasn't this night. Let's get it right now.
You talk about players that have transformed their bodies in the NBA. How about Gordon Hayward? Has added muscle every year while maintaining that speed and agility.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Durant's checked in.
Oh, not many players with the more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
Irving, good.
I mean, he's a strong finisher. He exhibits great body control. Irving, he's a special talent.
And Walker kicks to Tice. Outside, Smart. Nice ball movement by Boston. Walker against Irving. Walker the pass to Tice. The kick out to Walker. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. You know, Greg, when he came into the league, Hayward looked so young. You almost don't recognize him now.
I mean, the suit of armor from his time in the weight room and the hair looking sharp to match.
Allen. That's no good. Couldn't get his first shot to go. Stolen by LeVert. To the middle. Here's Allen. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the...
That free throw missing. Celtics making a switch here. Brown's checked in. Good on the second free throw. Chris, there is that transition from being a player to retirement. It can be a challenge for some. What were the keys that you found in succeeding at that?
Well, first I think is adjusting to the fact you don't have the same schedule. You don't have a physical release that you used to have. You miss the locker room and the camaraderie with all the guys. So you miss the culture. But secondly, I would say take all the lessons that you learned, and for me this was big, from sports and use them in business. So in business, I became a rookie in other areas. I found a Chris Mullin type in business. I found a Latrell Sprewell type, guys that would mentor you, guys that you would play on their team. Humble yourself, get back to it, get to practice, get to meetings early, stay at practice late, stay at meetings, and be the last one that leaves. And just take the culture of basketball, infuse that athletic personality into the personality of whatever you go into next. And you can use those tenets to have a wonderful retirement and really enjoy it. So for me, it's been awesome. And by the way, I've had twins, and so since retiring, and that'll keep you just as busy as it was you were playing. So you can find ways to keep that same lifestyle.
That's right, and some sound advice too. It's the first that brings them within single digits.
An electrifying score. Walker will burn you in so many ways.
And so Allen will bring it up for Brooklyn. They've led by as many as 14 points. Dinwiddie dishes to Allen. Kicks it out to Dinwiddie. Banked in off the glass. And the Nets lead by 10.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Nets.
This is a game where the defense, steals specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created possessions for them, scoring opportunities, and that effort a big part of what will be a nice victory here tonight.
And so taking a look at their season record, this will be win number 31 on the year. And when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Kyrie Irving.
He hung a big number on the scoreboard, and it wasn't just because he was hot. He did it with movement and tenacity.
Here's Walker, and he banks in the layup.
Oh, what incredible precision. Brown cutting the D to pieces in his pass.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Allen kicks to LeVert. And it's off from three-point range. Walker the pass to Haley. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 7.
Well, he was the 9th overall pick in the 2010 draft. If it were held again, only a couple guys would be selected ahead of him.
So it's the Nets picking up the win. David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.
body fluid. And goaltender. puck pickups, upper and lower body fluid, and goaltending.
For your first finalist, we have Leo Herring 07. Sends the shot away with the powerful rejection, but the ball still finds a way to go in. That was sweet, but is it the best? For your second finalist, we have Dylan Hand 99. Tie game.
And a glimpse inside the locker room. Players' final. Well, Joe. Thank you, David. As we get a break in the action, now let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. You look at Boston. Right now, they're locked into third place in the conference, looking to get a high seed for the playoffs. And, of course, there's the 76ers, a few slots below them.
And I think for the 76ers, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Hayward at small forward with Tatum at the 4. Walker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. And it's Tice in at the 5 down low. And for Philadelphia, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. Clark, some of those lottery-bound teams now giving more minutes to their younger players, developing them, looking into the future, which means more veterans, unfortunately, will have to sit and watch.
And, you know, I always say this, and it's much easier said than done, but you're a professional, whether you're in the rotation, a young player or an old player, you have to approach it in a professional manner. And that means accepting the good with the bad, the sweet with the bitter, and that takes a maturity level. You know, when the trade deadline is behind you, you only can control what you can control, and that's what veterans should be about.
And hopefully the coach communicates the ideas behind the move, too.
I like that, but there's no obligation to do so.
Right. And here comes Horford leading the fast break. Simmons, and Simmons is right there.
Yeah, you got to box out Simmons. It's plain and simple, guys. When you don't, he can really hurt you on the offensive boards.
Walker the pass to Brown. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. That one on Embiid.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff.
Yeah, highly efficient. Nothing extra special there. Just effective.
Now here's Simmons, one of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Now here's Embiid, defended by Tice. Clock at 6. Shoots from 8. And Simmons with the nice bucket inside. Simmons got his second basket of the night.
With Ben Simmons, his wheelhouse is in close. The closer he is, the more dangerous he is.
And Walker kicks to Brown. And there's the pass to Tice. Walker against Simmons. Goes up on the high post. Rebound by Joel Embiid.
Fantastic positioning there to contest that one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he challenged the shot, and you can see the effects on the release of that shot. I mean, it turned a simple jumper into a tough one.
And Embiid throws it down.
Well, you got to push Embiid out farther. I mean, when he's this close, he's focused on one thing, wrecking that rim.
Simmons, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the 76ers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Celtics making a switch here. Cantor's checked in for Daniel Tice. Williams comes in for Gordon Hayward. Smart's checked in for Brown. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Kemba Walker.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim. Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
It's Smart with the drive. There's Williams. Good, and Smart gets the assist.
And this is where Smart has really improved. The game's slowed down for him. He's playing under better control. Nice pass.
And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
So it's Philadelphia now, following the bucket by the Celtics. Here's Simmons from 6 feet out. He nails it. Simmons got 8 points.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Celtics passing it around. Here's Williams. And And Philadelphia grabs the miss. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons. Embiid kicks to Scott. And he uses the glass on the layup.
You know, for a big guy, Joel Embiid's floor awareness is pretty impressive. He does a pretty good job of finding open guys.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock in game. Here's Smart. And that one comes up a bit short.
Well, I like the defense there. Right up in his grill, didn't give him a chance.
Here's Thibault. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Yeah, Embiid plays with really good effort, and he plays with an effervescence that's contagious, and it's really endearing for a guy of his size.
And Embiid with the block. It could go. He can't get it to go. And so it's Ben Simmons making it. A native of Cameroon, Joel Embiid talks about...
not knowing English, obviously.
And that unique sense of humor, Greg, is a specialty of Embiid's.
He's a fun-loving guy who's become a must-follow on social media. And the transition he's made has been remarkable.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. What stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack or just keep on pounding it inside.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. They've got Enes Kanter. Williams is out there with Jason Tatum. Then it's Marcus Smart. And it's Wanamaker in at the 1. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive. That edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. Embiid in the hoop for his third make from the field. He's 3 for 4 thus far in the contest.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Now here's Smart. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
Boy, he was piling up those assists in that one. I mean, every pass seemed to be on time and on target. Well, one thing you've got to know about Kemba Walker is that this guy can go off at any time. A dynamic scorer that also possesses the killer instinct. And when he gets it going, watch out. It can snowball into a dominating performance.
Here's Embiid following the bucket by the Celtics. No coverage that time. Embiid's got the lead up to 9 now for Philadelphia. Walker taking his time here. Hayward passes to Williams. The kick out to Brown. Left side Williams. From the line. Brown inside, working on Horford. And it's Brown missing. And for Walker, who stayed 3 years at UConn, Clark, he just keeps getting better on the offensive end.
Boy, Kemba Walker is one of the most dynamic little guys we've had in the league in its history. I mean, his ability to score from outside and inside, really hard to match and quite special. He's the type of player who always is surprising you on the upside.
Here's Korkmaz after Gordon Hayward's bucket. Knocked loose, stolen by Smart, and here comes Brown, leading the fast break. He gets it in there. And now just a 5-point 76ers lead.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Here's Korkmaz. Another miss by Philadelphia. And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Boston Celtics. Only giving up 6 here in this quarter. The shot's good from Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Williams' shot is off.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Yeah, still close, but with their tough play on the boards, we're certainly seeing the effort.
Here's Korkmaz. No points in the game yet for him. No good, unable to end this run.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall. And there's been some turnover in the Philly front office, but through it all, some bold moves.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, guys. First, the process, and we heard a lot about that as they were stockpiling draft picks and losing a lot of games. It was maybe the most drastic rebuild in NBA history, at least as I can recall. Then new leadership in Elton Brand, who's done an outstanding job pushing all their chips into the middle to go for it. Great credit to him for not sitting back. In both cases, a plan and a direction, and that's what you want from your organization.
A remarkable interior presence. Horford's a veteran who still has those polished post moves.
Stolen by Robinson. To the inside. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And the 76ers with a completely new group now. And a new group in for the Celtics. Daniel Tice is checked in for Robert Williams. Williams comes in for Gordon Hayward. Jason Tatum, he's checked in for Smart. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Walker.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Here's Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
I tell you, it doesn't get any easier than this, guys. I mean, Simmons finishing with power.
Here's Wanamaker. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Here's Milton. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Milton's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Pass to Tice. Over Scott. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. 76ers ahead. Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. Ben Simmons had it going on in the first quarter. He had 10 points and 1 rebound. That's all for now.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. You look at Ben Simmons in this game, he's been everywhere.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
The tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second half. Now, here's Walker. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from Hayward. Here's Embiid. Shoots over Walker. That one is good from Joel Embiid. Clark, you know, some players just don't need a lot of reach. They can play basketball all day, every day, and don't want to be taken out. They've all got a lot of engine in them.
Yeah, they do. 24/7 guys, we call them. They don't need a lot of fuel, and it seems like they never are out of fuel. Guys like Paul George and Russell Westbrook come to mind.
Austin shooting their second and third free throws tonight.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
Those are good numbers for any team. I mean, they can feel extremely good about their free throw shooting percentage this season.
An elite distributor for a big man. Horford is the kind of guy you want to play basketball with.
Outside, Walker. Over in the corner, Brown. Over Richardson. That one wide left.
Boy, the defense refusing to give up anything easy. Love seeing that kind of intensity.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup. Give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
And the Celtics rebounding well this summer. From the loss of Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, Kemba Walker possibly a better fit for this team.
And with their young core, understandable that they didn't want to extend Horford out to age 37. A revamped roster, but I think they remain a contender in the East.
And Boston has possession after the Sixers pick up 2. Hayward finds Walker. Back to Hayward. Outside, Walker. Passes it to Brown. Shot clock at 5. Tatum wide open. He fires one. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Tatum's got his first bucket in this one.
One of the things you've got to admire and respect about him is his aggressiveness at the offensive end, always in attack mode.
Horford, and the layup's good off the glass. And the 76ers lead by 7.
They are on fire right now. That's 4 straight makes.
Brown kicks to Tice. In the corner, it's Hayward. Simmons against Walker. Pass to Brown. Tice with the ball. Back to Brown. Simmons with the defensive effort.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Rebound, Gordon Hayward. Celtics trail by 7. Brown outside. And there's a whistle, and that's going to go on Simmons. That is his first foul of the game. Enes Kanter's checked in for Gordon Hayward. Here's Walker. Some stats for him. He averages over 21 points a game.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What? You mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas. I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
And just no excuse, guys, for leaving a shooter like him open beyond the arc.
Richardson outside. Wide open. That shot is off. And the Celtics going the other way now. Tice with the bounce pass. That one goes. Count it. That's 7 points for Jason Tatum.
Tatum doesn't just make J's now. He's a complete offense.
Oh, that was terrific.
And, you know, whenever Simmons gets a chance to show off his insane bounce, he takes advantage of it, really demonstrating how lethal he is in the air.
And the call will be against Al Horford. That's his first foul. Scotty's checked in for the 76ers. Shake Milton comes in for Simmons and then for Boston. Williams, he's checked in for Daniel Tice. Smart comes in for Brown. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Walker. There's 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Richardson outside. The pass to Milton. Back to Richardson. Shoots it. Rebound by Williams.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Now Smart. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Wanamaker misses. Here's Milton. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Milton's got 5.
Yeah, that's good vision from Harris. I mean, he draws so much attention himself, so he's become a capable passer.
1 second left. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. 76ers lead by 10. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. And a look at the 5 for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. Williams is out there with Tatum. Then it's Enes Kanter. Then there's Smart. And it's Wanamaker in at the 1.
And the size of the Sixers can present matchup problems for opposing teams.
Well, you think about the two critical positions, a 6'10 point guard and a 7'2 center, and both are uber talented. That's a huge advantage, a unique advantage for Philadelphia.
Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world, and a personality made for stardom.
Robert Williams, he's checked in for the Celtics. You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
Here's Thibault. Following the bucket by the Celtics. Here's the 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Thibault's got the lead up to 12 now for Philadelphia.
The man has no heart, and that's poor defense for a team that has a long way to catch up.
They look pretty demoralized to me, and that always shows through at the defensive end first.
Now here's Williams. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Here's Thibault. Here's Harris. Shot clock at 6. And that one, good. And the 76ers lead by 14.
Boy, that's a nice touch from Harris right there, showing you exactly how under control he is close to the basket.
And it's Williams with the jam.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points.
Hey, I thought there was some style there, guys. What are you guys looking at? I mean, it was still a pretty sweet, flavorful one-hand flush.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Harris outside. Here's Thibault. From deep. Drills it from outside. Thibault's got a pair of 3s here in the fourth quarter for the 76ers. Wanamaker the pass to Williams. Mark, the level of nuance in the footwork that keeps evolving every few years. Talk about the changes that you have seen from the time you played to the exquisite footwork we see now.
Well, you know, some of my peers would say that these guys are being allowed to walk and have it talked about as good footwork. So you work with Reggie and other guys, and I hear them all the time saying guys are getting away with carrying the ball and so forth. But the footwork is pretty good. I mean, when you think about it, the step-back three-point shot, the ability to make plays off the dribble, all attributed to footwork. I think it's just an evolution of the game. As players see more and more of excellent work on the court, they're able to emulate it a lot sooner and a lot better.
Again, the miss by the Celtics. Now the 76ers with it. They're on a 14-6 run. Here's Milton. They get it back. Pass to Thibault. Here's Milton. Over Tatum. And he overshot that one, missing. And it's Williams with the ball for the Boston Celtics. 17-point game.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the 76ers.
And it may be a comfortable win for them, but you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, and that's all part of the story.
Yeah, Kevin, this was by no means the runaway that it might appear to be. It was a scrappy performance, though, all the way through.
And this will push their record to 39 wins in a good effort tonight. And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Joel Embiid.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
And so here is Philadelphia, following the bucket by the Celtics. Here's Milton, trains it from 9 feet away. And the 76ers lead by 15.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Now here's Williams. Williams dishes to Tatum. And Smart the bucket on the assist by Tatum.
Look, it's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency, huh? They could have done it much earlier before the game was out of reach.
Taken away by Williams. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
Substitution on the court.
There's 18 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And Walker kicks to Brown. Ring shot on the way. Connects. The jumper drops.
This guy is so elusive as a scorer. Kemba Walker, even with the defense being there, he's too quick, too confident, too skilled to stop it.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. Some good confidence.
puck pickup, upper and lower body fluid, and goaltend. body fluid. And goaltender.
First, we have Cameron Keesog in Pro-Am play. Shows off the hang time with the acrobatic no-look finish. Final score a 21-0? What happened to playing with pride? Or any amount of skill whatsoever? Next, we have Lil Spice of Ice.
What a fantastic look at the skies. And nothing tips off a... They certainly can. Well done, DA. Thank you. We've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Capella.
He's really made that a focus of his game these past few years, and it's paid big-time dividends for him. He's become a much better rebounder, and it's increased his value as a player by leaps and bounds.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Young and Herter make up the backcourt. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. And it's Capella in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the 76ers, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And in tonight's game, pride definitely burned at stake when you were with the Spurs, or any of the teams. Talk about some of the epic conference rivalries you played in.
Well, I always go back to playing against the Phoenix Suns in the 7 seconds or less Steve Nash-led teams, along with Amari Stoudemire, and what Mike D'Antoni was introducing to the game back in 2005, 2006, which, by the way, Kevin, everybody's doing now.
Right, yeah.
But tremendous talent on the court at that time, tremendous disparity in style of play, and watching Steve Nash during MVP years trying to conduct his team against the vaunted Spurs. Fantastic, incredibly competitive match.
And a lot of speed. I mean, it was eye-opening to watch.
And it was the Spurs trying to catch up. So how were we going to do the rock'em sock'em game against the 7 seconds or less? Kind of took care of it.
Young outside.
I see him.
And the pass to Collins. Back to Young. Makes it off the glass.
Yeah, the threat of Trae Young, we talk so much about gravity in the NBA. It's unlocking some other scoring options. Strong take.
Ben Simmons gets the bucket. Simmons got his second bucket of the night.
And you know what? He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty when it comes to really fighting on the backboard.
Not only fighting on the boards, he's converting, and not just on the putback. It's been a great start for him.
And the Hawks with possession here after Ben Simmons' miss. Hunter with it, and it's Richardson picking him up. Young in the corner. Just 5 on the clock. Capella kicks to Hunter. Back to Capella. Over Horford. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. '76ers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game.
Well, some people looking at Atlanta and their situation in terms of the rebuild and wondering what direction they would go. They've made some pretty solid picks. Got John Collins at the 19th pick as a foundation piece, and then obviously drafting Trae Young and Kevin Huerter, relying on shooting on the perimeter, and things moving along swiftly in Atlanta.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Now, here's Capella. The scoring numbers have been solid for him. He's averaging just under 14 points a game. It's Collins with the drive.
Yeah, last season Collins only had 157 of those. Kevin, get used to it.
The 76ers have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Simmons feeling it out a bit. And he goes big with the dunk right on top of John Collins.
You can't let Simmons get going off of these dunks. His confidence just soars when he slams it down like that.
So both teams making some changes here. And John Collins, Brent, falling that late in the first round shows you how deep that draft was.
Some people thought it was going to be a slow rebuild in Atlanta. They've made some pretty good picks. Grabbing Collins, as you mentioned, and then last year picking up Trae Young and Kevin Huerter in the draft and relying on some shooting. That number 19 has been pretty lucky so far for the Atlanta Hawks.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Alec Burks checked in for Simmons.
Checking in for the 76ers, Alec Burks.
Embiid with the steal, and Embiid with a clear path to the hoop. And Embiid throws it down.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
Here's Reddish, and Reddish with the slam.
My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Burks the pass to Thibault. Carter against Scott. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
And you got to get up tighter than that. Some players you can give that much room to, but not him.
Here's Carter. Good.
That's the kind of work you want your point guard to do. Sensational ball movement by Jeff Teague there to set up his man.
Burks against Teague. Pass to Embiid, and Embiid throws it down.
I tell you, he's playing the game with pure excitement right now.
He capped off that dunk with some serious hang time on the rim. Reddish lays it up off the glass.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
The drive by Scott. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
And despite the size disadvantage, attacking the heart of that defense.
Yeah, no stopping him on that play. Sometimes even the taller defenders are helpless to stop him.
Reddish kicks to T. Offensive rebound. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Dedmon using his length that time on the offensive end.
Outside Robinson puts one up from 19. Up again, and Embiid is right there. Embiid's got 8.
Oh, smooth. Guys, very good job getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
Well said. Those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. 76ers lead by 5. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back.
So as I'm sitting back there, it's like there's been a trade.
The 5th and 6th picks in the draft, both of them went on to great careers.
And draft day trades happen all the time, but being traded for your college teammate, a pick apart, that's pretty unique.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. What stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Yeah, hopefully the opposition can recover because that first quarter defensively was unbelievable. Just crippling defense.
They've got Scott. He's out there with Robinson. Alec Burks is out there with Embiid. And it's Milton in at the 2-guard spot. That's the group for Philadelphia to start the second quarter. Brandon, looking ahead to the playoffs, when you made your first postseason appearance, were you surprised by the intensity you found once you got there?
Kevin, it was my second season. I was playing for the Clippers, so getting into the playoffs was quite miraculous on the Tona court for the organization. But the level of detail in the playoffs and intensity in the playoffs, they know everything that you're going to do. And we were playing against the Utah Jazz, which at that time...
Some pretty good players.
Yes, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, the great Jerry Sloan as the head coach. It was a wonderful experience, but you understood that the playoffs were different. Absolutely something different in terms of the intensity and what it is that team knew about you.
Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Milton's got the lead up to 5 now for the 76ers. Stolen by Robinson. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. It's good on the putback.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Fernando, the pass to T. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Love how Jeff Teague did not fear that attempt. He was amongst the trees, but it did not affect the shot.
Outside Robinson. He dishes it to Embiid. Oh, good with the triple. The Hawks trail by 5. Right side Teague. Pass to Reddish. Here's Fernando. And it goes out of bounds. That went off Robinson. As we approach the playoffs, let's see how the East is shaping up. Look at Philadelphia. They're trying to get in the playoffs here. If they stay the course, they will. And, of course, the Hawks, right now, quite a ways down below.
And, you know, right now for Atlanta, they're going to stumble towards the finish line this season with the playoffs nowhere near a possibility.
And you have to wonder just how different this team will look next season, from players to possibly coaches, maybe every level of the organization.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Korkmaz checked in for Glenn Robinson III. Josh Richardson comes in for Shake Milton. And it's Ben Simmons in for Alec Burks. Hunter, no good. The 76ers leading by 5. Here's Simmons with the tip and staying with the play. Harris has got his first points of the night.
Tobias has a good frame and has good strength. I like to see him go in there and put it to good use on the offensive glass.
Fast break, Philadelphia. The feed to Horford. Kicks it out to Richardson. Back to Horford. And finished off by Horford.
I like seeing Josh Richardson distribute the ball, especially when his teammates are wide open. That makes for an easy pass.
It's Young on the wing. Outed by Simmons. Shots good from Young.
He just takes advantage of the D in a way that very few players, Kevin, playing today can do.
And they double up Simmons. Harris inside. He's guarded by Collins. And Trae Young gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Hawks making a switch here. Carter's checked in. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Korkmaz kicks to Richardson. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Bobbed up there for Collins. And slam dunk by Harris.
Such a solid and unique big man in today's game. Horford's passing skills and ability to find the open teammate is very special.
The 76ers leading by 9. The 76ers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Shooting for Philadelphia, Tobias Harris. At the line for 2.
The first free throw is good.
Well, with the scoring ability that Tobias Harris has, he can look to be even more aggressive. All the skills to be a go-to guy.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
And the turnover again by Atlanta.
What are you doing?
Here's what the Atlanta Hawks have lined up on their schedule. On Saturday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then on Monday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for that matchup with the Wizards, they'll need to be at their best for this contest. Anything short of excellence, and they'll be in for a rough ride.
He hits the second from the line. There's 47 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Puts it up. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Now the 76ers with it. They're on a 15-6 run. Harris's shot is off.
We'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space. Just clanked it.
30 seconds left to play in the first half. Carter, the pass to Young. Back to Carter. From outside the arc. Offensive rebound.
Oh, he's a bit of a tweener defensively, but I like the effort there from Tobias.
Pass to Thibault. Sweet move. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Thibault's got the lead up to 14 now for Philadelphia.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
It's stolen by Harris. That shot, no good. And so it's Philadelphia up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome. It was Joel Embiid who got hot in the first. He had 10 points, 4 rebounds, and
after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Joel Embiid has been sensational.
Yeah, and early on, he has been feasting in the paint, and you have to think they're going to keep feeding the big fella.
Oh, man, pouring it on right now, and why wouldn't you?
Checking out the group for Lloyd Pierce to start the second half. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Young and Herter make up the back, and it's Capella in at the center filling out the middle.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
And we say it time and time again, so I'll repeat it. Have to be careful with the ball, or this is what happens.
There's the pass to Young. 6 on the shot clock. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. Here's Herter. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Outside, Simmons. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Simmons got 8 points.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, one of the things that the NBA has been forward-thinking about is always accepting new ideas. And they've got a bunch of them on the table.
And here we go, Coach's Challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul, seeing if that was the right call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And this summer, a 5-year, $170 million max contract extension for Ben Simmons. The Sixers didn't want to give him any cause to look elsewhere. A great talent, but the hope with that kind of money is that he'll develop that jump shot.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Mike Scott's checked in for Horford. And Robinson III comes in for Harris. And it's Burks in for Josh Richardson.
You know, didn't need 2 hands for that slam. One will do just fine.
You're right. He can save the other hand for the next time. Feeds to Scott. Here's Simmons, and a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket. Simmons got 6 in the quarter.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Out of bounds, it'll be 76ers ball. And here's a group of players that have really been showcasing their versatility recently. The leading three-point shooters among centers and power forwards over the last 10 games. John Collins is second. Fourth, Mike Scott.
And the value of having a big man who can do what these guys can is that they draw bigger defenders out of the paint. You have to stay with them wherever they go.
Yep, and once you do that, you're going to open up the lane. And with the threat those guys pose on the perimeter, an opposing defense has no way to deal with that.
Now the 76ers with it. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
I mean, this team is just dangerous. Right now, every shot that they're putting up feels like it's going in.
Dedmon kicks to Bembry. Pass to Teague. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. A shot by Reddish, no good. And the 76ers with possession. It's a 12-2 run here, good pace. And Robinson wide open, he shoots. Again, Philadelphia. Ray, you stood out for 6 teams in your NBA career. What do you think about some of the front offices that you came across during that playing time?
I think when you find a front office, when you move from franchise to franchise, is what it is that they value most. And there were some franchises, quite frankly, Kevin, that I played for where they just wanted you to show up on time, get there, play the game, and leave. Those franchises end up having a lot of struggle to find some footing in the league. They also find trouble finding attraction from free agency because people understand the culture just isn't there. There are other teams that do so many other things well, Kevin. You feel so much more valued as a player throughout your course of your career. Those are the places that end up sticking with you. And I think the league is doing a great job from top to bottom, moving in that direction. Now, some are doing it better than others. That will always be the case. But the idea around finding more completeness for what it is you provide a player is a great thing for everybody.
Burks with the steal. Embiid finds Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
Crafty and smooth. Simmons tearing up the Nets. He is definitely a rising star.
Embiid with the steal.
And really the smart thing would be to hold for the last shot.
Every second right now is valuable to you. That should be their strategy.
Just phenomenal timing from Simmons, leaving the ground once the pass was released and tearing that bucket apart.
Yeah, better than giving up the layup. You want to go in there and use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
Now that's 2 teammates who need to reintroduce themselves to one another, not on the same page.
The 3. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a 1 How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
So helpful to the offensive versatility when your bigs can create, freeing everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. And so in the game for the 76ers, they've got Embiid. Ben Simmons is out there with Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Thibault in at the 3 spot.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Hammers the alley-oop through.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Coaching staff probably most proud of the effort of this team on both ends of the floor here tonight.
Jones kicks to T. And Carter has it in the corner. It's deflected. Outside, Simmons. Embiid, the pass to Thibault. Inside, it's stolen by Jones. Here's Carter. Count that bucket.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
Simmons passes to Milton. Teague against Simmons. Down low, it's stolen by Teague. One-on-one fast break. Carter left side. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. The 76ers shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall?
And loves to operate around the rim. Simmons' tall frame helps him to beat defenders.
And he makes that one.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked.
Milton's shot is good.
Defensively, you can't afford to give him that kind of look, especially down this many points.
Teachable moment there. Lapses like this are backbreakers.
Jones finds Carter. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Carter's got 7 points for the quarter. Outside, Simmons. Back to Embiid. Over Jones. It's stolen by T. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Bembry's shot good.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Pass to Milton. Takes a three. Another three for Philadelphia.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Got to fight over it as a defender. That's
one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
Bembry kicks to Carter. Lets the three fly. Another three for Atlanta.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from Rain.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
In player development, Brent, what are some of the primary things that can be taught?
I think in today's game, what a lot of PD coaches are looking at, Kevin, is just decision-making, playing out of the pick and roll and coming off into a spot where you're making the correct reads. It's much like, and you cover a lot of football, where you can talk to quarterbacks about their checkdowns.
Yes.
I think you can teach guys how it is that when they come off a screen, what's going to be available to them, and paint pictures for them so that when they're on the floor, they become second nature in terms of their decision-making. That can be huge. And then the second thing is always player development, working on confidence in shooting the basketball. You just want guys to feel like whatever shot they're taking, they've got a great chance of making it.
It's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout. a dominating performance for the 76ers.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And this will push their record to 39 wins in a good effort tonight. And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Ben Simmons.
Just knows how to fill it up, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Nobody that they assigned to him could really get a handle on him.
Here's Milton, defended by Jones. Fires from deep. Another three for Philadelphia.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
That drive by Carter, and yes, it's good.
Well, Teague has his binoculars on, able to find his man for that open look.
Neto finds Scott. Here's O'Quinn, defended by Carter. To the middle. The shot will not fall. Nice D from Scott. O'Quinn in the post. So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team.